I woke up screaming, my body not my own, cradling a squirming 2-year-old who called me mommy, like it was gospel truth. The mirror lied. My reflection was Evelyn Hargrove's, perfect cheekbones, honey blonde hair, the kind of face that sealed million-dollar deals, but inside, I was Lillian Voss, the broke adjunct professor who'd been erased overnight. And the worst part? I knew exactly who'd done this to me. My sister. The golden child. Who'd stolen my life. My child. Wait. No. Not my child. But God. It felt like mine now, and left me to rot in hers, buried under a mountain of secrets that would make the devil blush. It started in that godforsaken motel off I-80 in Nebraska. The kind with flickering neon signs and stains on the carpet that told stories no one wanted to hear. Rain hammered the roof like it was trying to drown out the world, and I was there because Evelyn had called, begging for help.
Lil.
It's bad. Real bad.
Meet me.
Please. Her voice cracked over the phone. Not the polished CEO timbre she usually wielded like a weapon, but something raw.
Desperate.
Sisters. Right? Blood thicker than the cheap bourbon I'd chugged to steady my nerves before driving out from my shoebox apartment in Chicago. Evelyn was always the star. Born 2 years after me, she glided through life on charm and connections, daddy's little princess, while I scraped by on brains and grit. She married up.
Twice.
Landed at the helm of Hargrove Biotech by 35, rubbing elbows with senators and Silicon Valley sharks.
Me?
I taught lit theory to hungover undergrads at a community college, my PhD gathering dust while I dreamed of tenure that never came. But we loved each other. Or so I thought.
Until that night.
She was waiting in room 17.
Door ajar.
A half-empty bottle of Pinot on the nightstand. No makeup. Hair a mess, Evelyn. Undone. Lil, she whispered, pulling me into a hug that smelled like Chanel No. 5 mixed with fierce sweat. I fucked up. Big time. Her words tumbled out. An affair with Senator Harlan Graves. The kind of power player who could topple empires with a tweet. But it wasn't just pillow talk. He'd gotten her pregnant. And worse, way worse, she'd covered it up. Paid off a clinic to handle it, but the kid?
A boy.
2 years old now. Hidden away with a nanny in some D.C. suburb because the senator's wife was barren and Bible-thumping, and exposure would nuke his re-election. Why tell me? I asked, sinking onto the sagging bed, the kid's existence hitting like a gut punch. Evelyn had always been the wild one. But this was Shakespearean tragedy meets cable news scandal. Because you're the only one I trust, she said, eyes glistening. Harlan knows. He's threatening everything, my job, my marriage, the company. He says he'll pin it all on me. Say I trapped him. I need you to take the fall.
Lil.
Just for a bit. Borrow my identity. Go public as the mistress. Confess to the affair and the cover-up. I'll pay you $500,000. Wired tonight. You'll be the villain, but you'll be safe. I'll handle the rest. I laughed, bitter and sharp. Take the fall? For you? The sister who ghosted me after mom died. Who never once picked up the phone when I was drowning in student loans. But she begged, tears streaming. And damn it, that old loyalty twisted like a knife.
Plus.
$500,000? That could buy freedom, real freedom from adjunct hell. Against every screaming instinct. I nodded.
Fine.
But this ends clean.
Ev.
No loose ends. We drove to a shady clinic in Omaha, her connect. Some back alley doc who moonlighted for the elite. It's experimental, she said, handing me a vial of clear liquid. Body swap tech. Hargrove's Black Project. Neural mapping. Consciousness transfer. You'll wake up as me, with my memories overlaid. Enough to pull off the confession. I'll be you. Lay low in your life till the heat dies. It sounded like sci-fi bullshit, but Evelyn swore it worked. Tested on rats. Then volunteers. Trust me, she whispered. Syringe in hand. The prick burned like fire. Then nothing. Blackness. And then, waking up in silk sheets in a Georgetown brownstone. Sunlight slicing through blinds. A tiny voice cooing "Mama" from the baby monitor. My head throbbed with Evelyn's memories, board meetings, Harlan's rough hands, the terror of that pregnancy test. But underneath, me, Lillian, screaming silently. I bolted to the mirror. Evelyn's face stared back. Flawless. 37 going on ageless. And in my arms, when the nanny handed me little Theo, Harlan's boy, Evelyn's secret, his chubby fists grabbed my shirt, and something cracked inside. That first day was a blur of panic. I fumbled through Evelyn's routine, espresso on the marble counter, emails from underlings kissing ass, a quick call to Harlan where she purred assurances while my stomach roiled. Theo was the anchor.
Though.
2 years old. All curls and giggles. Oblivious to the storm. Mama up, he demanded, and I'd hoist him, inhaling that baby shampoo scent, wondering how Evelyn could hide this miracle like dirty laundry. By nightfall, buried under her duvet, I pieced it together. She'd planned this all along. Not desperation, calculation. Swap with me? Let me tank her reputation as the homewrecker, then emerge from my life unscathed, claiming a nervous breakdown or some shit. Meanwhile, I'd be stuck, body-bound, raising her kid in her gilded cage, until she decided to swap back. If she did, betrayal hit like vertigo. My phone, Evelyn's phone, buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Thanks,
Sis.
you're a lifesaver. Enjoy the perks. XO Ev. Attached, a photo of me, her in my body, sipping coffee in my crappy apartment, looking almost relieved. She'd already wired the money, but it was in her accounts now.
Trapped.
I didn't sleep. Dawn broke with Theo's cries, and as I rocked him in the nursery, walls painted with murals of DC. Landmarks. Ironic as hell, I made my choice. No more pawn. If Evelyn wanted to play God with bodies and lives, I'd play devil. Revenge wasn't just payback, it was reclamation. Starting with Harlan Graves. Washington, D.C. In summer is a pressure cooker of egos and secrets. The air thick with Potomac humidity and the whiff of impending scandals. As Evelyn Voss, Hargrove now, I navigated it like a pro. Her muscle memory guiding me through heels that pinched and small talk that felt like verbal fencing. Theo's nanny, Maria, a sturdy Filipina with a no-nonsense bun, eyed me funny that first week. You okay, Mrs.
Ash?
You seem
Off.
I waved it off with Evelyn's signature laugh, light and deflecting, but inside, I was mapping the battlefield. Harlan was the key. Evelyn's memories painted him as a silver fox gone to seed, 62, broad-shouldered from polo weekends, with a Senate office that screamed old money, leather-bound books, a decanter of scotch older than me, Our first meeting post-swap was at his McLean estate, Theo napping in the guest room while we caught up. He pulled me into the study, hands roaming like he owned the territory, which, in a way,
He did.
Evelyn. Darling, he murmured, breath hot against my neck. That little stunt with your sister?
Ballsy.
But risky. I let him think it was her idea, playing the part, arching into his touch, whispering about loyalty and leverage. But as his fingers traced her spine, I catalogued. The safe behind the Vermeer. Combination July 4th, 86, Independence Day. His mistress's birthday. Per Evelyn's jealous notes. The hidden drawer in his desk, stuffed with blackmail files, USB drives labeled with names like Rizzo Campaign 18 and TechPack donations. And the safe deposit box at Riggs Bank.
Key on his fob.
Holding the real dirt, payoffs, NDAs. Even a forged paternity test absolving him of Theo. He didn't suspect a thing. Why would he? I was Evelyn, the mistress who'd birthed his bastard and hidden it away. But as he droned on about re-election polls, I slipped a thumb drive from his drawer into my purse, Evelyn's Hermes. Naturally, downloading later on her laptop. Files on me Lillian, too. Evelyn had fed him scraps, painting me as the unstable one. Perfect scapegoat if things went south. Deeper betrayal. She'd forged documents making me the clinic contact, the one who'd arranged the disappearance of Theo's records. I'd take the fall for child endangerment, maybe even trafficking vibes if the media spun it right. My life, ruined twice over. That night, back in the brownstone, Theo asleep with his thumb in his mouth, I cracked a bottle of Evelyn's Cabernet and plotted. Revenge wasn't brute force, it was scalpel precise. American style, leak by leak, ally by ally, until the house of cards toppled. First target, Harlan's chief of staff, Becca Klein, a shark in pencil skirts who'd covered Evelyn's tracks before. I invited her over for wine and worries, Theo playing blocks on the rug as camouflage. Becca arrived all business. But 2 glasses in, I dropped the hook. Harlan's getting sloppy. That donor list he's exposed. Her eyes sharpened. She bit. By dessert, she'd spilled. Harlan's side hustle. Laundering biotech bribes through Hargrove, Evelyn's company, for campaign cash. Proof? Emails on her phone. Forwarded to my burner app before she left. None the wiser. Power's a drug. And slipping into Evelyn's skin let me mainline it. Board meetings at Hargrove became my playground. I greenlit audits that accidentally flagged irregularities tied to Harlan's pack. Whispers in the C-suite. The senator's too close. We need distance. And suddenly, contracts dried up. Harlan called, furious. What the hell?
Ev?
You're tanking us. I cooed apologies over the phone, Theo babbling in the background, but hung up and texted an anonymous tip to Politico. Hargrove biotech exec linked to Senate ethics probe. The press ate it up. Mistress or mastermind? Screamed the Post headline. My Evelyn's face splashed across feeds. Controversy brewed. Was I the grieving mother or the corporate viper? Social media lit up. Evelyn exposed trending, with trolls calling me everything from homewrecker to girl boss gone bad. It thrilled and terrified. Every like was a step toward the edge. But Theo grounded me. Mornings became ritual, his sticky kisses, storytime with Goodnight Moon, the way he'd pat my cheek and say, love you.
Mana.
Was it Stockholm? Or something real? I'd catch myself humming lullabies Mom used to sing, wondering if this was the motherhood Evelyn had robbed me of mine. Delayed by miscarriages she dismissed as not the right time. Evelyn, meanwhile, was thriving in my skin. Social media scraps showed her me, posting from Chicago, adjunct gigs, poetry slams, even a date night pic captioned, reclaiming my voice. The gall. I traced her. She'd sublet my apartment, charmed my department head into a sabbatical story. But cracks showed, a blurry Insta of her at a bar. Eyes haunted, like my memories were bleeding through.
Good. Let her feel the itch.
Mid-July. The heat peaked. Harlan summoned me to his office, the Capitol dome looming like judgment. "We need to talk," he growled over speaker. But I arrived early, hacking his calendar with a phishing email sent from Evelyn's alias. Alone, I rifled drawers. Jackpot. A ledger, handwritten, old-school paranoid, detailing kickbacks. Names jumped. Not just donors, but Evelyn's board. Complicit. She'd known. Built her empire on this rot, then dumped the blame on me. He burst in mid-search, face thunderous. "What are you doing?" For a split second, I froze, Lillian's instinct screaming run, but Evelyn's poise took over. "Protecting us, Harlan." From her. I waved the ledger. "My sister's digging. She knows about Theo." Lies. But they landed. He deflated, pouring scotch with shaking hands. That's when I struck. "We end this. I go public, confess the affair. The kid. You stand by me, spin it as redemption arc."
Or.
I tapped the ledger. "This leaks to the FBI." His eyes narrowed, cunning flickering. "Blackmail? From you." Laughter barked out.
Ugly.
"Evelyn, you're in over your head. I made you." Then the twist, he knew. "Not the swap, the swap." "Your little science project? I funded it. Thought it'd be useful for interrogations. But if you're not her." He lunged, but I was faster. Evelyn's yoga-toned body dodging, snatching his phone as it buzzed. Caller ID. Ev. The call connected mid-scuffle. "Harlan? It's me, wait." "Lil." Evelyn's voice, tinny and panicked from my old phone. Harlan snatched it, bellowing. "What the fuck is going on?" I grabbed a letter opener, brass, heavy, and held it steady. "Tell him."
Ev.
"Tell him how you used me."
Static.
Then her sob. "Lil. I had to. He was going to kill me, expose everything."
Du intel.
The swap was temporary. I swear. Harlan's face twisted, realization dawning.
You.
"Both of you? That egghead sister." He lunged again. But I slashed, not deep. Just enough to draw blood on his arm. A warning.
Seat.
Or I scream assault. "Your career ends tonight." We three-way confessed. Voices overlapping in the humid office. Evelyn's betrayal for survival. Harlan's threats born of his own skeletons. A prior affair. A covered-up assault charge from his Yale days. And me, the fall girl who'd become the Avenger. Theo's existence bound us. A secret child in a web of adult sins. But revenge demands cost. I demanded the reversal, the clinic's reversal serum. Harlan's influence to bury the probes. Evelyn agreed. Voice breaking. "I'm sorry."
Lil.
For everything. Harlan. Bandaged and broken. Wired settlements. My half-mil doubled. Plus shares in Hargrove cleaned of dirt. The swap back happened in that same Omaha clinic. Needles and monitors beeping like a bad dream soundtrack. I woke in my body, familiar aches. Scars from a life unlived. Theo's photo on my phone. A promise from Evelyn to co-parent. He's yours too, she texted. Harlan slunk away, scandal-free but soul-scarred, announcing family values reforms to cover his ass. Back in Chicago, adjunct life resumed, but altered. I published a memoir, thinly veiled, swapped secrets, a sister's shadow, stirring debates on identity. Betrayal, motherhood's myths. Forums exploded. Was I hero or opportunist? Did Evelyn deserve forgiveness?
Theo vi sai weekend.
Calling me Aunt Lil, but his hugs lingered. A bond forged in fire. Yet the twist lingered too. Months later, a package, Evelyn's handwriting, a USB. The full truth, the note read. Files opened, not just Harlan's dirt, but mine, hers. She'd borne my sins too. That miscarriage? Not bad timing, sabotage. Pills slipped by her jealous ex. Covered up to protect me. The tenure denial? Her whisper to the dean. Securing her own network. Deepest cut, mom's death, overdose. Not accident. Evelyn's antidepressants. Borrowed and forgotten in my purse during a fight. I'd carried the guilt. Unwitting. Revenge complete? Or cycle renewed? I stared at Theo's latest drawing, a family of 3 stick figures. One with my old hair, and wondered. Happy ending? Or tragic echo? You decide. No. That wasn't the end. Not by a long shot. Waking up as myself again felt like surfacing from a drowning, gasping. Disoriented. The world too sharp. Too mine. My apartment smelled of stale takeout and unwashed regret. The mirror showing Lillian Voss, mousy brown hair in need of a cut. Crow's feet from squinting at footnotes. A body soft from skipped gym days. But Evelyn's echoes lingered, her confidence in my posture. Her ruthlessness in my thoughts. And Theo.
God. Theo.
His absence was a hollow in my chest, like losing a limb. Evelyn called the next day. Voice all sisterly contrition. Lil, you there? Say something. I let silence stretch, savoring her unease. I'm here, I finally said, flat as Midwest plains. Question is, are you? We met in neutral territory, a diner off Lakeshore Drive. Vinyl booths cracked like old skin, the air heavy with grease and unspoken accusations. She looked.
Me.
Or the version she'd curated, glasses perched on nose. Cardigan over adjunct chic, but her eyes, my eyes, darted like prey. I brought coffee, she offered, sliding a cup my way. Black. 2 sugars spot on. Trust muscle memory.
Lil.
About the package. I had to tell you. Mom's thing, it was my fault. Yeah. But I was 22. Scared shitless. And the miscarriage? That bastard Kyle. I got rid of him for good after.
For you.
I sipped.
Scalding.
For me? Or to keep your halo shiny? The words tasted like Evelyn cutting. Unapologetic. She flinched, but pressed on. Theo updates. Co-parenting logistics. A trust fund for his future. And yours. It was olive branch wrapped in obligation. American dream repackaged as amends. I nodded. Signed the papers, visitation rights. NDAs to keep the swap buried deeper than Watergate. But as she hugged goodbye, awkward and brief, I whispered, "This isn't over.
Ev."
Not until I say. Back home, the USB burned a hole in my laptop.
I dove diper.
Nights blurring into dawn as coffee went cold. Evelyn's secrets weren't just personal, they were institutional. Hargrove Biotech's neural mapping? A front for DARPA wet work, mind control prototypes. Tested on vets with PTSD, volunteers from homeless shelters. Harlan's funding? A drop in the bucket. The real puppet master was Evelyn herself, pitching it to Langley contacts as Enhanced Interrogation 2.0. And me? She'd earmarked me as Test Subject 0. My fall meant disappearing into a black site. Memories wiped. Body repurposed for field ops. The sisterly plea? A lure to lock me in. Rage reignited. Hotter now. Laced with grief. Mom's overdose, Evelyn's pills, hadn't been accident. It had been the catalyst for her climb. Guilt funneled into ambition. She'd confessed to Harlan once, drunk at a gala, and he'd used it as leverage. Keep the tech flowing, or your sister's the junkie who OD'd your mother. Circular hell, betrayals feeding on each other like rats in a cage. I needed allies. First, Becca Klein, Harlan's ex-chief. Now consulting, after the resignation. I reached out as Evelyn. Email laced with sisterly concern. Harlan's spiraling. Meet, she bit. Meeting at a Foggy Bottom Starbucks. All anonymity and overpriced lattes. What's this about? She asked. Sharp as ever. But I saw the cracks, divorce papers fresh in her bag. Career in limbo. Redemption, I said, sliding a folder. Printouts from the USB. Redacted just enough. Harlan's assaults, not one, but 3. Buried by party fixers. Evelyn's complicity. Signing off on payoffs from company slush. Becca's eyes widened, then hardened. Why me? And why now? Because you're the weak link. I thought. Aloud. Because we're all pawns. Unless we flip the board. She flipped. Within days. Leaks hit ProPublica, Senator Graves. Pattern of abuse allegations surface. No names yet, Becca playing cautious, but the dominoes teetered. Harlan lawyered up. Radio silent. But Evelyn panicked. Texts flooding. Lil. WTF? This you're doing? Call me. I ghosted. Letting paranoia fester. Next. The clinic doc, Dr. Elias Crow. A weasel in wire rims who'd administered the swap. Evelyn's memories had his number. A burner for discreet consults. I drove to Omaha under alias. Cash in hand, posing as a Hargrove whistleblower. He met me in a strip mall office. Blinds drawn. The air stale with menthol cigarettes. What do you want? He rasped. Eyeing the envelope. 10 grand. Untraceable. Out. I lied. The serum. Permanent reversal. No traces. His laugh wheezed. Can't. Doll. One-way street for ethics reasons. Bullshit. I leaned in. Evelyn's ice in my voice. Ethics? Like dosing the homeless for Uncle Sam. His face paled. I had him. Another 5 grand. And he spilled. Reversal existed. But volatile. 50-50 neural scramble. Worse. Evelyn had backups. Cryovats of consciousness imprints. Her insurance against betrayal. Mine included. Digitized post-swap. Ripe for erasure. I left with a vial tucked in my bra. Heart pounding. Permanent? Maybe. But freedom's price is steep. Back in Chicago. Theo's weekend arrived, Evelyn dropping him at my door. My face strained. Aunt Lil, he squealed, toddling in with a backpack of trucks. We baked cookies, burnt edges. Laughter loud. And as I tucked him in, reading Where the Wild Things Are, he murmured, Miss Mama Ev. But love you too. Knife twist. Motherhood's controversy. Could I claim it? Stolen or not? That night,
Post-bedtime.
Evelyn lingered on the stoop.
Lil, talk to me.
The leaks, Harlan's calling. Saying you're gunning for us all.
Us.
As if. I studied her, my features. So familiar yet alien. Gunning?
Nah.
Just evening the score. Mom's death. The miscarriage. The swap. You carried my sins too.
Ev.
How's that feel? Her eyes welled. But cunning sparked. Feel? Like survival. You think you're innocent? That PhD debt? I paid half. Anonymously. Your students love you because I pulled strings for your syllabus. Gaslight or gratitude? Lines blurred. We parted uneasy. But her seed planted doubt. Was revenge blinding me? Social media echoed it. My memoir's reviews split. Empowering tale of sisterly sabotage. Versus. Vindictive drivel. Betrayal both ways. Debates raged on Reddit. Body swap ethics. Questioning if I'd stolen Theo's love. August brought climax. Harlan's presser. Damage control. Teary-eyed with the missus. Backfired when Becca dropped the bomb. Full allegations. Filed in court. CNN looped it. Pundits frothing. Power.
Patriarchy.
Payback. Evelyn called. Hysterical. He's coming for Theo. Hiding him. Saying I'm unfit. I drove east. Vial and glove box. Arriving at the brownstone to chaos. Reporters swarming. Maria packing Theo's things.
Inside.
Evelyn paced. Wine glass trembling.
Lil. Help me.
The reversal, now. We swap back officially. I confess everything. Take the hit.
Tempting.
But as Theo clung to my leg, burbling up, Lil. I saw the trap. Swap back. And she'd bolt. Imprint overwrite. Me erased forever. No, I said, voice steel. We do it my way. The confrontation went down in Harlan's study, him barricaded, Evelyn and I storming in like furies. You, he snarled at me, spotting the real Evelyn behind. The egghead. Thought you were done. Guns drawn metaphorically. I waved the ledger. She the USB. He is Senate poll. Words flew. Accusations of abuse. Embezzlement. Experimentation. Theo's cries from the hall pierced it all. Maria shushing futilely. High point. I dosed him. Not lethal. Crow's sedative. Slipped into his scotch. He slumped. Midrant. Eyes rolling. Evelyn gasped. But I turned on her. Your turn. The syringe, reversal serum, plunged into her arm before she could react. What, Lil?
No.
Convulsions hit. Her body, mine, seizing as consciousness's ward. I held her down, whispering, feel it. All of it. She stilled. Eyes fluttering open. Hers again? Or mine forever? Harlan stirred. Groggy. But Becca's sirens wailed outside. Feds.
Tipped by her.
Cuffs clicked. Scandals sealed. Evelyn, no. The shell mumbled.
Tay.
Safe. I nodded, gathering the boy. His weight a anchor as we fled the fray. Fall crept in like a thief. Leaves turning blood orange along the Potomac as D.C. digested its scandals. Harlan Graves, once untouchable, became a punchline, Graves and memes flooding late-night slots. His wife filing for divorce with a tell-all book deal inked before the ink dried on separation papers. Evelyn, front page enigma. Biotech boss in body swap breakdown? The swap confessed as delusion. Therapy spin. But whispers lingered, conspiracy pods dissecting it like JFK tapes.
Me?
Lillian Voss. Adjunct ghost. Suddenly solicited. TED Talks. Podcast invites. Vanity Fair profile pitched as the woman who wore her sister's skin. But fame's a fickle bitch. And controversy clung like humidity. Protests outside Hargrove HQ, no more mind games, chanted my name alongside Evelyn's. Blurring lines, victim or villain. I fielded hate mail. You stole her life. You witch. And fan letters. Empower the swapped.
Tao.
Bless him. Cut through. Weekends at my place now permanent. Evelyn indisposed in a private clinic. Recovering or remapping. Who knew? His artwork cluttered my fridge. Crayon families. Always three figures.
Labelet Mama Eve.
Aunt Lil.
Me.
Debatable domesticity. Was I mothering by proxy? Or birthing a new normal? Plotting paused. But not ended. Crow's vial had worked, sort of. Evelyn's body was mine now.
No.
Wait. Post-reversal. She'd snapped back. But scrambled. Memories fused. Personalities bleeding. Her calls were disjointed. Lil? Harlan's ledger. Your miscarriage.
We.
Fixed it. I'd hang up. Heart racing. Because the serum's 50-50 meant roulette, whose mind dominated.
Mine.
Mostly. But her echoes whispered temptations. Leak more. Burn it all. Allies shifted. Becca. Post-testimony. Became reluctant confidant. Brunch at Georgetown spots. Mimosas masking machinations. Feds are circling Hargrove, she confided one crisp October morning. Leaves swirling like confetti. DARPA ties. Your sister's project could greenlight congressional hearings. Her eyes gleamed. Revenge mutual. Harlan's downfall, her alimony boost. I nodded, slipping her a drive. Crow's patient logs. Anonymized. Showing swaps on unwilling vets. Use it. But credit the source. Source me. Ghostwriting my own legend. Deeper dive revealed the core sin. Not just betrayal, but substitution. Evelyn hadn't just swapped to dodge scandal, she'd framed me for Mom's death. Pills in my purse? Planted post-fight. Her anonymous tip to cops ensuring suspicious overdose pinned on my instability. I'd borne the grief. The family whispers, Lil's fault. Poor Ev, while she rose. Unburdened. The miscarriage?
Kyle's sabotage.
Yes. But Evelyn's delay in telling, weeks. Letting it fester, ensured I'd blame myself. Keeping her clean. Tapes on the USB. Her therapy sessions.
Post-swap.
Confessing. I made her the monster, so I could be the saint. Ugly truth. We'd both aired. My resentment, years of snide comments. Ev's the pretty one, had fueled her paranoia. But knowledge didn't absolve, it armed. I hired a PI. Ex-FBI named Ruiz, tough Latina with a Brooklyn accent and a nose for dirt. What's the play? Voss? She asked over burner phones. Stakeout coffee steaming. Full exposure. Evelyn's empire. Harlan's hypocrisy, topple it, but leave Theo standing. Ruiz delivered. Evelyn's offshore accounts. Siphoning Hargrove funds for personal vaults, Caymans, numbered. Harlan's post-scandal pivot, lobbying gig with Big Pharma. Peddling the swap tech as therapy for trauma victims. Twist of the knife. He'd approached me. Post-arrest. Through back channels. help me spin this.
Lillian.
Your story sells. We split the book deal. I forwarded it to Becca, who leaked to Walpo. Disgrace Senator I's memoir with accuser sister. Backlash hit Evelyn hardest. Clinic discharge papers leaked, mental health hold, delusional disorder, and Hargrove's board ousted her, citing instability. She showed up at my door unannounced. November chill biting. Her my old coat threadbare. Lil, she croaked.
No muck up.
Hair limp. They're coming for Theo. Custody battle. Harlan's wife. Saying I'm unfit. You complicit. Rain started.
Fitting.
I let her in. Theo peeking from his booster seat. Cookie crumbs on chin. Auntie Ev, he cheered. Oblivious. We sat. Tension thick as fog. Him, between us like a truce flag.
Why?
I asked. Voice low. Why me? Always. Her confession poured. Fear of losing the throne. Mom's favoritism. You are the smart one, she said, twisted into sabotage. The swap? Desperation's peak. Harlan's threat to expose all, including her role in Mom's death. I thought you'd forgive. Like always. Always. The pattern. My capitulations. Her climbs. But Theo's giggle, chasing a toy truck, shifted gravity.
He's not a pawn, I said.
None of us. We lawyered up together, joint custody filing, painting Harlan's clan as vultures. Controversial? Hell yes. Sisters reunited in scandal. Co-moms to the love child. Twitter erupted. Feminist fairy tale or family fraud. Climax brewed in December. Snow dusting DC. Like powdered sugar on a corpse. Congressional hearing on neurotech ethics. Becca testifying. Ruiz feeding docs anonymously. I prepped Evelyn. Role reversal. Her in witness chair. Me coaching from shadows. Tell the truth, I urged. Vial's residue making her compliant. Pliable. All of it. The chamber buzzed, cameras, grandstanding reps. Harlan in the gallery, gaunt and glaring. Evelyn took the stand, oath sworn, lights harsh.
We
experimented, she began, voice steadying. Lies first, corporate spin, then cracks. The swaps weren't consensual. Vets. The vulnerable, minds broken for progress. Gasps rippled. Harlan bolted, but feds waited outside. My moment, called as expert witness, adjunct cred shining. This isn't sci-fi, I testified. Eyes on Evelyn. It's theft of identity.
Autonomy.
My sister. She took mine. Murmurs peaked, cameras zoomed. Twist dropped, but so did I. In revenge. We both bore crimes for each other. Against. The room froze, confession laced with absolution, reps probed. MS. Voss. Do you seek prosecution? I paused. Theo's drawing in my pocket like talisman. Justice. Not vengeance. Hearing adjourned to chaos. Leaks confirmed. Hargrove shuddered pending probes. Evelyn and I fled to the brownstone. Theo bundled in. Snowmen built in the yard. We did it, she whispered. Arm around my shoulders, sisters again. Fractured but fused. Harlan's empire crumbled overnight. Indictments. Assets frozen. His memoir pulped. But doubt nagged. Ruiz's final report, Evelyn's cryo-imprints, all erased. Per her orders post-hearing. No more insurance, she'd said. Was it trust? Or tying loose ends? Nights. I'd wake sweating. wondering if her mind lingered in mine. A ghost swap. Winter gripped like a vice. Holidays hollow despite Theo's glee over LED reindeer prancing on the brownstone stoop. Evelyn and I played house, contentious cohabitation. Arguments over bedtime, routines masking deeper fissures. "You're too soft," she'd snap, scrubbing dishes with Evelyn force. "He needs structure," I'd counter. "And love. Not your boardroom bullshit." But unity held, fragile as spun glass. Against external wolves, Harlan's lawyers circling custody. Media hounds sniffing for the sequel. The reversal's toll emerged slow. Evelyn's episodes, blackouts where she'd stare, murmuring mom's name, mirrored my post-swap fugues. "Your fault," she'd accuse one blizzard night. Wine bottle half gone. The serum scrambled us both. Truth? Docs confirmed. Neural bleed. Personalities entwining like kudzu. I'd catch myself in mergers, pitching ideas with her polish. She'd fumble at quotes.
My awkwardness surfacing.
Debatable horror. Were we merging? Or one devouring the other? Ruiz proved invaluable. Her invoices a bargain for the dirt. "Harlan's not done," she warned over encrypted Zoom, face pixelated in her queen's walk-up. "He's lawyering with Mercer and Klein, old money firm, bearing assaults since Watergate. Proof appended. Emails plotting to discredit us. Paid trolls seeding swap hoax. Affidavits from witnesses claiming Evelyn's hysteria predated me. Worse, a custody motion. Harlan's wife as petitioner, painting Theo as ward of the state, pending our instability. Panic bonded us. Evelyn's cunning. My ethics, we countersued. Ruiz digging for leverage. Jackpot, a recorded call. Harlan post-hearing. Raging to a fixer. Get the kid. Leverage. The sisters'll fold. Blackmail gold. We fed it to Becca. Now congressional aid. Her testimony addendum timing perfect for January hearings resumption. New Year brought pivot. Theo's third birthday, small affair. Just us. Maria. A cake from Georgetown cupcake piled with frosting monsters. He blew candles, wishing all fam together, innocent as Eve. Evelyn teared up, squeezing my hand. He's the only good thing. Moment's grace. But controversy loomed, press outside. Post-Foddig snapping through windows. Scandal sisters' secret bash? Spring thaw mirrored thaw in probes. Hargrove liquidated. Assets to victim funds, vets compensated. Swaps dismantled under federal oversight. Evelyn testified again. Broken but brilliant. I built monsters to feel powerful.
Now?
I dismantle. Applause thundered. She emerged Phoenix. Consulting on ethics boards.
Me?
Book deal landed. Echoes in the mirror. Ghost-ridden confessions stirring Oprah whispers. But royalties funded therapy. Not triumph. The bleed demanded it. Sessions unpacking fused traumas. Harlan's endgame hit May. Dogwood blooming like false hope. Summons to family court, his wife. Prudence. Steel-haired and scripture-quoting. Claiming moral high ground. That boy's soul's at stake, she testified. Bible clutched. Evelyn and I took the stand tandem. Theo in daycare, under guard. Family's messy, I said, voice cracking. But blood, choice, binds tighter than law. Evelyn echoed. I failed him once. Not again. Twist blindsided. Prudence's cross-exam. Her lawyer unveiling my Evelyn's emails. Pre-swap. Plotting Theo's adoption to Harlan's fold. You intended to abandon him, gasps. Judge's brow furrowed. Evelyn paled. But I saw the plant. Harlan's forgery. Timestamps off. Ruiz confirmed post-hearing, digital slight. His specialty. Climax redux in chambers, private.
Tense.
Prudence cornered. Harlan zooming in from rehab. Give us the boy, he growled. Or your book's DOA, libel suits for days. Evelyn lunged at screen. But I held her. Vile's echo fueling calm. Or what? More swaps? Your text toast. I dropped Ruiz's bomb, the call recording. Played tinny, but damning. Prudence blanched, Harlan. And crumbled. Withdrawing the motion on spot. Court adjourned victory. But hollow. Outside. Rain lashed. Theo scooped into arms wet and wailing. Daddy bad, he asked. Thumb in mouth. Sometimes, Evelyn murmured. We drove home silent, the bleed sinking our sighs. Summer sizzled with fallout. Harlan indicted, extortion. Fraud, his empire footnote. Prudence vanished to Florida. Church circuit preaching, redemption's cost. Evelyn and I, published. Profiled. Picketed. Protest split. Free the swapped. Versus. Lock up the lab rats. Debates fueled my book tour, Chicago to LA. Crowds hungry for controversy. Was it worth it? A UCLA student asked. Mike hot. Revenge or justice? I paused. Theo's latest pick, us three at the zoo on phone. Both. Neither. Motherhood's the real swap. But secrets festered. Ruiz's swan song, Evelyn's final offshore drop, millions to a charity, but traced to Crow's escape fund. The doc. Vanished post-clinic raid. Rumored in Mexico tweaking serums for cartels. Had she shielded him? A goodbye note in my inbox. Loose ends.
Sis.
For Theo. Betrayal's echo. Or protection. Theo's questions grew. Why two mamas? We tag team. Special family. But nights. Alone. I'd rock him post-nightmare, swaps haunting his dreams too. And wonder, whose child was he? Really? Evelyn's biology. Harlan's legacy. My nurture. Controversial claim. I'd borne no pain of birth. Yet his love birthed me. Fall circled back. Hearings wrapping with bans on neural tech, Evelyn's testimony sealing it. We celebrated quiet. Bonfire in Shenandoah. Marshmallows charred. Stories swapped. Remember the motel? She laughed. Face firelit. Thought you'd say no. Almost did, I admitted. But blood. Autumn's decay mirrored the unraveling. Leaves rotted underfoot as Evelyn's episodes worsened. Full blackouts now. Waking disoriented. Calling me mom once. Vile's curse claiming toll. Therapy doubled. Meds trialed. But the bleed was permanent. Personalities porous. Memories communal. Where one, she'd joke. Bitter. But her eyes pleaded, save me. I couldn't. The doc's warnings rang true. Controversy deepened. Was this karma's cruel poetry? Or science's sin? Theo turned pivot. For now. Preschool debates. My mamas are famous, but home front fractured. Custody stabilized. But Harlan's ghost lingered. Appeals dragged. His cell letters smuggled. Give me my son. Or regret. Prudence's church flyers circulated. Pray for the innocent pamphlets decrying our unnatural bond. Social vortex. My book hit NYT list. But reviews savaged, self-serving psychodrama, while Evelyn's ethics gigs dried. Whispers of unreliable. Ruiz retired rich. Her parting gift a dossier. Crow's Trail. South of border. Peddling swaps to narcos. Mind heists for hire. Evelyn's charity. Seed money. Her final gambit to atone or arm. I funded escape, she confessed one harvest moon night. Cider steaming. For us, if needed, paranoia or prescience. Harlan's allies circled, Mercer and Klein filing libel counters, subpoenaing our medical records. Winter warned of war. December court date loomed. Snow blanketing D.C. like shroud. We prepped war room style, Evelyn's old study. Files stacked.
Theo cô loving obi visuli.
Win this, she urged. Hand on mine fused.
Trembling.
For him. I nodded. But doubt gnawed. The ultimate twist. Buried in Crow's logs. Ruiz's addendum, subject 0, Lillian Voss. Imprint dominant post-reversal. Evelyn's secondary. Meaning? I was the host now, her mind the echo. Fading. Proof, her slips. My surges, boardroom bravado in lectures. Her tears and mergers. Weeds swapped forever. Revenge's price. Identity inverted. Shocking? Hell yes, I was Evelyn now. Or hybrid horror. Climax crash New Year's Eve, Harlan's breakout. Technicality on appeal. Storming the brownstone with goons in black. The boy, he bellowed through door. Prudence at flank. Cross gleaming.
Theo scream.
Hiding in closet. Evelyn barricaded. Me dialing Ruiz, too late.
Breach. Door splintered.
A chaos erupted, fists.
Shouts.
A goon grabbing Theo's arm. Instinct, my or hers, surged. I tackled. Nails raking. Evelyn wielding fire poker like Excalibur. Not him, we chorused. Voices blending. Harlan loomed. Gun drawn, stolen from evidence locker. Barrel cold on my temple. End this. Sisters. Sign over custody. Or brains paint the wall. Twist ignited. Sirens wailed. Becca's tip. Feds swarming. But before cuffs, Evelyn lunged. I watched, detached, as she wrestled the gun. Shot wild, grazing Harlan's leg. He fired back, bullet blooming red on her shoulder. Not fatal, but symbolic. She crumpled, whispering,
Lil.
Finish.
I did.
Kneeling by her, Theo clutched close. I confessed to the arriving swarm. It was me, all along. The swaps. The leaks. Evelyn. She was the victim. Lies. Truth reversed. I was the mender. She the monster?
No. Hybrid harmony.
Blame shared. Harlan hauled away. Final words. You win. But the boys cursed. Hospital vigil. Evelyn stabilized. Bullet shallow. But bleed accelerated. Her essence ebbing. Let go, I urged. Holding her hand. Theo asleep on cot. Be free. Her eyes cleared. Lillian's brown meeting Evelyn's blue in Mirror World. Already am. Love you. Sis. Flatline at dawn. Monitors keening. Grief's controversy. Suicide by proxy? Heroic sacrifice?
Inquest roulé accident.
But forums frothed. Did Lillian kill her sister? Custody granted sole to me. Aunt Lil elevated to mom. Prudence's appeals quashed by scandal's weight. Theo mourned with drawings, 2 mamas. One angel winged, his resilience my anchor. Spring bloomed by karma. Books sequel scrapped. Instead, Foundation, Voss Hargrove neural rights. Lobbying bans. Compensating victims. Crows nabbed in Tijuana. Tech torched. Harlan's life sentence. No parole, his wife's church a punchline. Ending? Debatable. Theo and I in the brownstone. Routines rooted, school drop-offs, bedtime battles. His Why Mama Have Gone met with stars watching. Happy? In fragments, love reclaimed, scars silvered. Tragic? Echoes whisper. Whose life is this? Really? The swapped soul? Or the survivor? You argue it out.
Me?
I live it, one breath, one choice, at a time.